What does it mean to be a Christian gamer?
Christian gaming,
It all started, I'm guessing now, but I think it was about 3 years ago. Student government said that there were students who were interested in esports, and they wanted us to look into what it would be like to have esports on Dort's campus. So as student government was exploring it, someone shared with me that there was someone at Fuller Theological Seminary that was working on their PhD in a Christian worldview on gaming. And I thought, okay, well, let's see if we can get this guy for a phone call.
So my name is Brad Hickey, and I came to Dort mainly to start this gaming guild. Really, the whole purpose behind it is to help gamers think about the way they play games and just gaming in general and their faith in Jesus Christ.
By the end of the phone call, I was realizing that there was so much influence that someone like Brad could have on our students who were interested in gaming. If a student athlete's struggling and the coach comes to them and says, hey, you've got to get into the academic enrichment center because we got to get your grades back where they need to be. They have a different kind of voice in the life of that student. And I was realizing, wow, if we had some sort of gaming program, all of a sudden a person like Dr. Brad Hickey has a different kind of voice in the ears of those students.
Sure, I think when the topic first came up, and back then nobody was talking about a guild, they were talking about esports. And everybody had their cautionary tale or some horror story about what esports had been somewhere else. And everybody imagines the worst.
Truth be told, I wanted nothing to do with it because so much of what I had experienced with our students that were gaming were people that had addictions, and their gaming a lot of times was leading to them no longer being students here because they couldn't make the grades.
There is the possibility of creating a desensitization, whether that's towards violence or towards sexuality. And I don't think that means we throw the baby out with the bathwater, but it certainly means that there's ways there that we can be more fully educated so that I'm choosing the platforms that I'm on very deliberately because I want to enhance humanity and the celebration of life rather than the destruction of it or the objectification of it.
But I mean, if we are reformed, we understand that gaming is within God's creation as well, and there are the beautiful pieces to gaming.
I often think about the picture in President Hoekstra's office of one of our first president at Dort, B.J. Hahn, in Time magazine, just railing against the concept of a movie theater in town, only for Dort to realize later on that we would have a digital media program and that we were not just going to be able to tolerate the idea of theater, but compelled to step into that space. And I kind of see this same movement as akin to that, and maybe the same thing for our own generation. A guild is a cohort. It's people with shared interests and passion and experiences. And it's a place where we get to engage with others who have a common interest and then share extended areas of life together as well.
We were no longer trying to look at esports just yet, but we really needed to deal with the facts on the ground, which was that we had substantial percentage of the guild being interested in community.
Some of my favorite stories that I've heard from students about what it means to participate in this is the same theme of coming out of their own shell or finding a platform that allows them to connect with people on campus that they otherwise would never have been able to do in an embodied way. And so it takes them out of the digital sphere and into the embodied sphere where they live the rest of their lives and then can cultivate additional friendships or showcase the work that they've done in a particular area.
From the students who are in the guild, I hear lots of stories from them. Absolute excitement, surprise, delight. They love that we're investing in them. They love that we see them because we didn't even see them before.
And so it allows me to meet other people who also oh, you like this thing too? That's cool. And now let's play Super Smash Bros. It's pretty good. And I also like the tabletop portion of it because D&D is cool. I've run a one-shot for the guild so far, and I've participated in a couple other ones, and it's been a good time.
I'm an introvert, so community doesn't immediately come to the forefront, but it's definitely, I mean, it's for everyone, right? It's impacted me inadvertently in many positive ways. So yes, I would describe the Dordt Gaming Guild with the word community.
And so it feels like that what our unique niche here at Dordt will be is education and community.
I think we feel compelled to enter this space because of the fact that it's kind of been abandoned by Christians. We're starting to understand that there are some people that is where they find community. So how do we put that in the best form of community that we possibly can? We started out thinking this was going to be an esports thing. Well, we've come to realize our students, some are interested in esports, but way more are interested in casual gaming, and even more are interested in board gaming. And when I think about board gaming, that's people sitting around a table just as you would if you were breaking bread and sharing a meal together.
I love that idea of like making sure that we don't over-theologize everything either, right? When my kids go out in my driveway to play street hockey with one another or to throw a football around, I'm not giving them a talk ahead of time. I'd be like, remember, right, like we gotta think about how as a Christian, we're gonna do this differently. We're gonna seize teachable moments as they come, and sometimes we're gonna learn through hardship even that way. But there is something about the image of God within us that just delights in play.
A Christian's use of gaming ought to be delight and enjoying, and something that perhaps God has been waiting for us to discover and saying, hey, look, I put these things in creation. And look what you came up with. This is so cool.
I think to be a Christian gamer is simply to try and glorify God with the things that you're doing, the things that you're interested in. It's just like being a Christian tennis player.
I think that to be a gamer who is a Christian just basically means that we take the lordship of Christ to apply to all aspects and facets of our being.
I also think that Christian gaming also requires responsibility. And that's just something that we see in every other aspect of being a Christian, is that we take our work or our parenting or our play or whatever, and we ask God, what do you think about this?
There's a lot of fear-mongering when it comes to almost anything today, but certainly gaming. It's, oh, this is bad, and can you believe they're making a game about this? And, you know, I think in Christian circles, we're ready to pounce on the gaming industry as just being terrible. And it's time to say, no, let's call out the good like Paul did, right? Let's call out the good where we see the good and glorify God with every piece of this that we can, and leave the junk behind. And so I think Brad is really trying to send that message and also help parents see we need people who are interested in gaming in that industry, in the jobs associated with that industry. We need game designers, we need music creators, we need esports coaches. You know, we need all of these things, or we're not going to be involved as Christians.